Hello, welcome back to the Snake and Crane chat. In this episode, part 10, we discuss and compare all the different audio tracks available on the Blu Ray discs. There's a song that's only used in the Japanese print, along with some strange differences when doing comparisons between each version. Some interesting stuff, I think, but you'll have to watch if you want to find out. Thanks very much.
Please.
Right, let's discuss the different audio tracks. So as I've told you, between the two releases, they've got 5.1 and mono and this, that, and the other. As we've just watched the Japanese trailer and TV spot, we'll have a look. If you think back to the trailer, could you hear a song? There's a bloke singing in it.
Yeah.
Just have a look at the difference between the intro that me and you know,
right,
to the Japanese version. Okay, so you get the idea.
Yeah.
It's the opening credits. It's got a song on it called Dangerous Eyes, composed by Tetsuji Hayashi, words by Gregory Starr. This song comes in on two parts of the film. One is here, and I'll grab the other one for you now, on this intro. And just so you know, after that part one, that song fades out and goes into the second part with the tonfa and sword, and it's the one we know, the same music that we know. That's not a change. The only change is the song plays over that. Before we discuss, I will show you where else it comes in. I pulled it a bit. Okay, you get the idea.
Yeah. So basically, say again, sorry. Thoughts.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, sorry, I thought you said that. So, yeah, that sort of style of music, apart from the fact that he's doing it in English, it's very reminiscent to me of that era of Jackie Chan, like the police story. You're hitting the 87, 88, 89, maybe into 90s. And when when Chan does the orchestration, even in the closing credits, you know what I mean? It's got that element of that style of how he sings, but it's obviously in English. But they've also used it. They've used it twice there as a bit of a climax. It's like that hyped up, souped up. Right, I'm there. Here comes the big finish. That song comes in. But because I'm sort of from that era where I'm used to that sort of singing, but not in English, it kind of feels right, but it feels wrong for the film. You know what I mean? You've got a crossover between traditional and modern era of cinema coming together. And the only reason my ears are in acceptance to it is because I've been exposed to it from those genre of Jackie Chan police story sort of era. But so it semi feels right, but because I know it goes against the traditionality of the film, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? But there's enough of it. I'm kind of in the middle. I want it traditional, but at the same time, I'm used to that. But it'll be in his native tongue.
It don't work.
No.
It don't work. It don't work because the song is good, right? I haven't given you the opportunity to listen to the whole song. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant song. I really like it. It is absolutely of that time.
Yeah.
it's fine to have it on the soundtrack. It's crap to have it in the film.
Yeah.
There's a reason that the first part of that opening sequence has no music, and there's a reason why the second part does. The second part involves two combatants, and it gets a bit more dramatic, and it works.
Yeah.
The first bit is purely about his skills and the showcase, and he's got a bloke singing over it. It ruins it. It makes it too light-hearted, and it's exactly the same over the last fight. You've got a serious last fight. It's no comedy in that last fight. It's a serious last fight.
Yeah.
You've got someone with a comedic kind of song over it. I like the song. Fine. Have the song. Play it on the end credits.
Yeah.
You know, if you remember Young Master, that had a song called Kung Fu Fighting Man that was actually sung by Chan in English, and that was on the end credits to Young Master. I'm not sure it was on every version, by the way, so you may not be aware of it. I don't think it was on every version. It's fantastic. It works. It's on the bloopers, you know, the outtake scenes. Young Master. Not there isn't that much bloopers, but you know the bit at the end of the film where he's all bandaged up, where he's been smashed in, and he's like crashing, and all he can move is like his fingers. It's comical. The point is, it's used in the right way.
Right context.
You can't have that song coming in on that fight.
No.
It's poor.
Yeah,
it's poor. I don't like it.
Yeah. You know,
like, look, listen. You've got flashbacks to the girl getting her head cracked open by Cam Kong's rock hard head with a bloke singing a cheerful song over it. Doesn't make it dramatic.
Over it and all.
The fight at that point gets more dramatic, as in it's getting to the climax.
Yeah.
So I've got no issue in principle of them putting music on it, but a light-hearted, happy-go-lucky song like that, rubbish.
It's the wrong place at the wrong time for that. But again, someone's obviously given the go ahead and thought, oh, it works. But
look,
it's provided a talking point. But I agree with what you're saying. It doesn't work.
Yeah, well, you said it yourself. And look, I'm happy with it being there as a completist. Thanks 88 Films for putting the Mandarin Japanese track on there, because someone like me went, what did I put this on here for? What's the difference? I don't need to see it in Mandarin. What's the difference? After watching that Japanese trailer, we know there could be a difference here. Now, there may be other differences. I was fairly thorough and I couldn't see anything else. But those differences are not for the better. In my opinion, that is. Just in my, and obviously now your opinion. So, no good. So, sticking to the audio tracks.
Right.
A little bit of difference between the Cantonese and the English ones, and quite interesting. So let's start with English mono, the beginning. The key thing here is when the door opens at the beginning with the 8 masters, there is no door noise, and I believe there never was on the ones we used to watch.
Here at such a meeting, the masters, after many days of consultation and study, and taking into account their own and
you'll see there that the door opens, but it's silent. We'll just check again.
At such a meeting, the masters, after many days of consultation and study, and taking into account their own and all other known kung fu.
No big deal. We're used to it. We never did have a door noise. But then you get the English. That was the English mono track. Then you get the English 5.1 track, which is obviously new to me. We didn't know what 5.1 was back then, right? So this is the English 5.1, same scene.
Here at such a meeting, the masters, after many days of consultation and study, and taking into account their own and all other at such a meeting, the masters, after many days of consultation and study, and taking.
Okay, so finally, after all these years, we get a door noise, right?
dramatic effect, but then when you listen to it, then when you're not used to it, it sounds really like the cheapest store sound effects. We're going to go crack, so you've got your attention. And it's going and it creaks, but you know, it's giving the film. I can't
imagine it being added. It must have always been there. It's just that we've always had mono track because we had VHS. We'd never in stereo. I guess if you saw Snake and Crane in the cinema, it would have had a door noise.
Yeah, exactly. And it would have all been around.
Yeah. So that definitely ain't like that Japanese song. That don't ruin it. It's okay to have it. We didn't have a door noise, but it was always meant to be there. Is what I'm trying to say. I think it's always
that's fine. It's all thanks. Yeah.
So pretty interesting. It's kind of weird that it weren't there, and now we know it was always meant to be there.
I'm glad you picked up on it because again, it's little subtleties like that I haven't picked up on.
And then the Cantonese track, which is only available on the first release, has got, this might be a bit hard to pick up.
Right.
So I'll tell you. It's got a different door noise and it's got birds chirping.
切磋武藝，呢一年8月中秋，8位掌門人放下門派之見，
Hear the birds?
糅合各派武學嘅精華，研創出一套卓絕嘅拳法，名為
I mean, in my opinion, bloody interesting. You know?
Yeah, the birds.
3 different
the
audio
question,
tracks.
are they authentic birds that would have been found in that country, or has it just been like they're blackbirds and robins tweeting away? You want proper Asian?
I'll leave you to research that one, mate. Nice
Yeah.
one,
But
but
that's
interesting that you can have that much difference, subtlety in between each of the audio tracks. I like it, of course I like it as a completist or whatever. I love it all. Throw it all at me. But sometimes I do sit there and I go, what version am I watching? What shall I watch? And you know what I do? I just watch the one that we grew up with.
You do. You always go back to what you know. But it's funny because things like that, and again, I know we don't want to bring it up on this pod as so much. Just a little quick game.
No worries.
Just remember, like off Fatal Fury with Franco Bash. And I remember on the back of the Neo CD, it said Franco Bashu, like with a U at the end. And I was like, Bashu and Bash. And for years, I was scratching my head and it caused this discomfort in me. I was like, what is this all about? Why? It's obviously a Japanese version. They've given him a slightly different name, you know. And any little subtleties like that, I do pick up on. And now you've made me aware that these subtleties are in different versions of these kungers. It makes me want to look and it makes me want to delve, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Yeah, it's interesting. This is a film we like and we're learning more about it. It takes you back. Yeah. So it's good. And listen, these companies are the ones giving us this. We can draw from it what we want, but they're the ones giving us the material that are making us interested. So it's brilliant that these films aren't just lost in the past.
Yeah.
But we'll stick to the audio tracks here, right? So this is what we're used to on this part of the film.
Masters had recorded all the details of the new snake and crane technique into a book. They placed the book for safe custody in the hands of Master Lin. Together with the book, and to show how important they considered this to be, they also gave to Master Lin the dragon spear, which was his emblem of authority, as the custodian of the most precious and most dangerous secret in the Kung Fu world. Shortly after that, all the 8 masters mysteriously disappeared, together with the book, and chaos reigned.
Now, there's not really music here. There's just a little background, but then we get the track,
More efficiency,
which we know. Right. So that's the version me and you know. So you don't really get any music on that, but you can hear it a little bit in the background, a little bit of atmosphere, and then it kicks into the tanker from The Spy Who Loved Me, which we never knew, but we know now, right? And then this is what you get on the Cantonese track.
大門派嘅掌門研創出蛇殼8部拳法之後，再推舉武功最高者為武林盟主，負責保管拳土，並且以一支九龍令權充武林盟主令箭，號令江湖，共謀武林和平嘅重任。
So as you can hear, that music track is playing throughout the bit, and then where the bit we know comes in.
8大掌門離奇失蹤，頓時江湖上掀起一陣龍爭虎鬥。
same. So, completely different.
Yeah, it's almost like the music overtakes the lyrics, the vocals, the narration. The second one, you could hear the narration far better, whereas the other one drowned out. I know it creates, I can see what they're trying to do, create extra suspense, but you're losing, that's quite a key point of the film as well. It's the explanation of why the masters that perfected these arts, then it's in this book, and then they disappear. They've been done in. It's an explanation, and that's a key point that needs to be picked up on, and that can easily be lost, especially when we're listening to like a dubbed version or in the original language. You're looking at the writing at the bottom, the captions.
Yeah.
And I think you lose it with that. It's just too much. But again, I'm only hearing it on a phone. Do you know what I mean? If you had proper sound, I'd probably have to differentiate. It'd be well balanced. But from what I'm hearing, it's lost.
It's no, great points. I think you bang on with it. I don't think that bit where they're chatting
doesn't need
dramatic music like that. That track is used in quite a few kung fu films.
Right.
Definitely 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. I love that music so much. I like it a lot. Like I say, I've heard it in a few films. And it's in the 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, it works the best. Right. I don't believe it might be used again on that Cantonese track, but that's the bit where I picked up on it. Great track used in Hong Kong films. Love it. But not as good as what we've got, right? We had no English explaining this, no music explaining the story. And then when it's ready, da 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 dun, 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 dun. To me, that was better. But I love that track, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're saying, and I couldn't agree more. It comes in too early for starters. That's the first problem.
Yeah.
It's too soon. It's too soon. It's over the chats.
Yeah. You got to let it build. It peaks too soon. Do you know what I mean? And then you're opening into that dramatic little.
Yeah, but this isn't always about. I want us to chat about what we think about that, but it's not just the reason we're doing it. No. We're picking up on things, and we're saying, look, this is the difference between the Cantonese track and the English track. As a matter of fact, and all the tracks, it's only the Cantonese track that has that music. The Japanese, the Mandarin one don't, the English 5.1 don't, the English one, they're all the same. It's only the Cantonese one that has that music. It seems weird because, the Cantonese is the Hong Kong language, and the film is a Hong Kong film, although shot in South Korea. That one had the music change, but who knows why? I mean, it is a recognizable music from kung fu films, so maybe, I don't know. But there you go. We're just picking up on changes. Whether we like it or not don't matter, but I'm certainly happy to say whether we like it. I want to know what you think of it, and it's worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, our points seem like universally, like we're thinking along similar lines, whether we've been conditioned to a certain thing and we like it a certain way, or whether this is just general consensus, if we're into these arts that everyone thinks the same as we think, or there's obviously going to be someone goes, well, actually, no, I like that bit. I like the fact I can't hear him. He's being drowned out by the music. Whereas we're on the same page. And I think that's just that era and appreciation of a certain style, what we had at first. Because like you say, we weren't spoiled with all these different choices. Back then that's all that's available. There was nothing else. Or, you might have had links, like import links, or, friends in Asia or something. Whereas I'm like in England, I go, well, how am I going to get hold of that film? Whereas you go, well, I've got mates who live out there. Do you know what I mean? I've got links that comes over every 6 months. I go out there every 6 months and I get exposed to different elements and different versions. But now everything's available, isn't it? So there's more to choose from. Whereas back then you got what you were given and you got used to it, and that's what you like because you didn't know any different. But now you're a connoisseur. You can take little elements and go, actually, I like that. I don't like that. Or if they did that, that would work. But we're on the same page.
We've got the information to dissect.
Exactly.
And that's the key thing here.
The
information to dissect. We've seen the film. We know the film already. This is great because we're deep diving. We're delving into it. We're breaking it apart. So all right. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, part 11, not got enough fingers, we compare the picture quality between the different releases. Well, thanks very much, and hopefully we'll see you for part 11.
Snake and Crane.